1580 103.3 WPKY. Good morning. Time is 8:08. It is 42. We are joined this morning by Joni Phelps here from the Caldwell County Extension Program. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Trying to stay warm.
Yes. Because unlike your director over there, this is not my weather.
No, it is not mine either.
Shane, he was in here talking, I love this weather, and I'm like, guy, you're just okay.
No, I don't like cold weather either. I like about 70s, low 80s weather.
Yeah.
That's my kind of weather. So
yeah, I think for me anything between about 55 to 78, I'm good.
Yeah.
Anything above that, I'm starting to get a little too warm or a little too chilly.
I was saying right now, if that weather happened, we would think that it would be a heat wave too. So.
Exactly. Well, it is supposed to get up to like 53 today.
And then start raining.
Yes. Rain.
Start raining.
All through the weekend. Yes.
So
what have we got going on over at the Extension office?
Well, with holiday seasons coming on, sometimes it's hard for us to budget our dollars. Food dollars are far as Christmas money maybe. And so just kind of wanted to talk about menu planning and the importance of menu planning, not only during the holidays, but throughout the weeks and throughout the months. Menu planning is very important. And so I just kind of wanted to hit, some of the basics of menu planning. If you're not already doing menu planning, I highly encourage you to do the menu planning because it does save you lots of money. When I talk about it, when I talk to my participants about it, I'm talking to myself because I do all the things that I tell them to do. I do them, but then I also do the bad things like go to the grocery store without a shopping list, or go to the grocery store when you're hungry, or go to the grocery list with your family. And I say all the times, don't take your family with you, especially if they're hungry, because then they want to buy everything too. So, it's just very important far as to menu plan and far as to hit, your basic nutritions from your food plate, and that's your food groups. So, we want to be able to provide all of our families with the healthiest meals possible. And I know sometimes it's really hard to do far as make healthy foods and to choose healthy foods and to buy healthy foods because sometimes they seem to be more far as expensive. But, overall, our health is more important as well. So we need to make sure that we hit the basics of all of our food groups, and that's our dairy, grains, protein, fruits, and vegetables. So when we're planning our meals, we need to make sure that we're hitting every one of them food groups because they all serve a purpose, not just for our family, but for our bodies as well. I tell my kids when I go to the elementary school and do classes, that they need to make sure that they're choosing these right foods and not choosing unhealthy foods because it can, far as make them unhealthy throughout the years and that. So it's just very important that we choose them. Also, having a grocery list and menu planning, you're saving money. You're not throwing your money away, as I say it, because you're going to buy this, and this. Well, when you get home, you don't even have enough to make a meal, with it. So sometimes you can sit down and make far as 3-day menu planning if you're that busy, a week, even a month. I know a lot of people are on fixed incomes, so it's very hard for them to make a menu, but sometimes if you have that menu, that helps you far as save your food dollars as well. So, there's a different variety of foods that are healthy for us. There's different variety of foods that are unhealthy for us. So not saying that you can't have them foods because every once in a while it's okay, but to plan them in far as when you purchase them as well. So that way it's not just a spare of a moment and everything in your buggy is them unhealthy foods because it does happen. And like I said, when I'm talking to myself because I have done it as well. So, and I try not to, but sometimes it's really hard. But every once in a while it's okay to have them unhealthy foods. But there goes your food dollars as well down the drain and your money that you may be needing to pay a bill with, you've chose to maybe buy with unhealthy things. So just making a menu, choosing what you're going to have that week and sticking to it helps a whole lot as far as to stretch your food dollars. And right here at the holidays, it's very important to be able to stretch them because, Christmas is coming. A lot of people want to focus on making sure their families have the, gifts that they want, but we also need to make sure you have the nutrition and the food that you need as well, as far as to to make sure your family is fed instead of having gifts. So that was a lot that I just said right there. If anybody has any question, I can help them far as menu plan. If they do not know how to do it, all they have to do is call the office. That number is 270-365-2787. Ask for me, Joni Phelps. We'll set up a time. I can show you exactly what you need to do, how you need to do it as far as to make a menu. And I would love to help them be able to do that.
Joni, what is your position over there?
I am the SNAP Assistant Senior.
SNAP Assistant. You don't look like a senior.
No, it's just the title. Actually, I was the FNAP Assistant Senior Assistant at the end of September of this year, but I switched positions. I'm still doing the same job that I was doing in the end of September. I changed my audience and my participants of who I can reach now. I can reach seniors. I can reach far as families with young children. I can do far as, teach anybody far as the nutrition skills that they need now, where I was only limited far as to families with small children. So now my title has kind of changed a little bit, but yeah.
What is SNAP? What does that stand for?
SNAP. It's a Supplement Nutrition Education Program is what that is. It's not like the SNAP benefits that your food dollar, the used to be food stamps, but mine is like the educational aspect of it, where I teach nutrition skills to these low-income families that need help in that, or anybody that needs help with nutrition. So that's where if FNAP, what I was, it's Expanded Foods Nutrition Education Program Assistant. So for short, I say FNAP. It's a big, long word, but it's based, we're a federally funded grant through the University of Kentucky, and we're in all 128 counties, I think, in Kentucky. There's an assistant, either a SNAP assistant or FNAP assistant, in all of the counties in Kentucky. So and they do the same job I do to try to reach the low-income families, as far as to be able to have basic nutrition skills in that. So.
What got you involved in that type of job?
Well, I have been with Extension for 11 years. Actually, I was looking for a job, and Rhonda Jewell, our 4-H agent, was telling me about this position, and she said I needed to apply, and that's kind of how it went. I didn't know anything about this program when I first started. I knew a little bit about Extension because I'd done 4-H as a child myself, but I didn't really understand what this was. But I tell you what, since I have been part of this position and this job, it's very near and dear to my heart, because there are so many families that do struggle with food insecurities, and so I'm here to help them to be able to budget their food dollars where they can stretch that food dollar a little bit more if they need to pay a bill, or menu planning, and then just basically making sure that everybody is staying healthy, and so they can live long lives in that. So that's kind of, didn't know anything about it, but I kind of, like I said, I've been here 11 years, and I love it. I love what I do. I love our community. I want to help our community be, far as healthy and to live long lives. So
you don't necessarily have a nutrition background, but you found that was something that...
Correct. I did not at that time, but I do now. So, as I've started this position, I do have a nutrition background now, because I have to take, so many hours of trainings and,
sure.
And that. But at that time, no, I did not. I didn't have any, but they trained me to know what I needed to know. So, yes.
Yes. And you've learned a lot more.
Definitely.
Beyond just the training. Have you found that... So families, the lower income families, have you found that they struggle to, a lot of people say it's expensive to eat healthy. Mm-hmm. Have you found that to be true?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Not only them, but just like my family, and, just because I do have a large family as well that I feed for, but then my participants also far as see that, well, I can't buy this because it's more expensive, so then I try to give them another option. If you can't buy fresh fruit, go to the frozen section. It's much cheaper. It still has the same benefits. So I give them other options that they, because sometimes the fresh fruit is more expensive. And as far as the vegetables as well. So I try to give them another option. I always try to stay away from the canned goods. I always want to say fresh. If you can't get fresh, get frozen. If you can't get frozen, then you can go to the cans, But it's very hard, very hard.
I've read recently that the frozen vegetables are actually fruits and vegetables are supposed to be a little bit healthier even than the fresh, because they get frozen immediately before they have that they lose, and the fresh ones lose some nutrition in transport. Do you know anything about any of that?
I do not, far as research based, because all my information is research based, and I have not seen anything like that. But I mean, I usually always just kind of say fresh. I mean, fresh, frozen, and then can. Is what I've always been taught, and that's kind of the way I teach as well. So
I see.
Yeah.
And canned is much cheaper for sure.
Oh, most definitely. It's a lot cheaper, but once again, I mean, anything is better than none. And if you're not eating your fresh fruits and vegetables, I encourage you to do so, because they do have so many different vitamins, minerals that our body needs, and every one of them does serve the purpose, for them. So,
do you find your families make poorer choices because of budget issues, or because of, I just really like potato chips issues? Which do you find?
A lot of it is because of the finance part of it, and it's a convenience thing as well. So I try to tell them, instead of buying, the potato chips or the frozen dinners, you can make these dinners as, yourself. Yes, it may be just a little bit more, but it will stretch it a little bit farther than just the box meals as well. So, or the potato chips. A lot of it is just a convenience thing too, or it's an expense thing where they can go buy a bag of chips for $1.90 something at Rulers, or $2 something at Walmart, and that can go a little bit farther than buying fresh bananas at $3, a thing. So it's just one of them things. It's a choice that we do make as well, and sometimes the choice is based off from their finances. So
sure. So you kind of have to educate them into thinking, yes, a bunch of bananas is more expensive than a bag of potato chips, but you can't grab a handful of potato chips on your way out the door for the morning and be satisfied.
Right.
Whereas with a banana, that's going to hold you a lot longer and be healthier for you.
Right.
So that's kind of part of your job as well.
Yes. And then that's also part of my job. Then also I have lots of recipes that are that are low in fat, but they are also far as low in cost. So I share them recipes with them as well. So that way they do have another option. Well, hey, I can make, this recipe lasagna and not have to buy it. It's lower, I can buy it cheaper than buying it in the frozen section. So,
and that's what I was wondering. You mentioned earlier that people opt for the frozen dinners because they are cheaper, and I guess I was always under the impression that you can make it cheaper because you can essentially you'll have 2 or 3 meals as opposed to the one boxed meal.
Right. And that's, and that's where a lot of times you may not realize that too, if you're not familiar with far as being able to go to the grocery store, comparing them prices and that. So, we got to make sure that you're educated, because honestly, when I was young, I didn't kind of compare prices and that's where, far as budgeting your food dollars, where far as menu planning comes into play, not just going to one grocery store to purchase all of your food. You may need to go to other ones, comparing them prices and learning how to do that. And that's something else that I can teach them as well. So,
okay. Joni, do you have, I know you said you've got a meeting you need to get to, so we'll wrap you up, but do you have anything else you want to say before we call it for the day?
No, if anybody needs my help with nutrition, budgeting your food dollars, menu planning, give me a call. Like I said, my number is 270-365-2787, and I can help you as much as I can. So,
and do you know what's the address out there at the extension?
It is 1025 U.S. Highway 62 West, and that's Princeton, Kentucky, is our address out there. And our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And then if I'm not there, but I will call you back, just I'm here, there, and everywhere in the county. So, but if I'm not there, please don't, just call and leave your name, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So.
Thank you so much, Joni, for joining us this morning. Joni Phelps from the Caldwell County Extension Office. You are the SNAP, say that?
SNAP Ed Senior Assistant.
Senior Assistant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Joni.
Thank you.
Joni Phelps, Caldwell County Extension Office with us this morning. Stay tuned. We've got Brent Francis on his way.